Hello, Facebook. Hello, Facebook Live. Hello, YouTube. However you're catching us. It's Marcus from Aroma Time Bistro, your chef on a mission. Today's mission, we're going to talk about pasta. Is expensive pasta really worth it? Is my lens clear? Let's see. I think it is. I thought someone was on my lens. Guess not. So is expensive pasta really worth it? You can go to the store and you can see a vast variety of pastas. Everything in grocery stores from literally $1 a pound to $5, $6 a pound. So what's the real deal on pasta? Why is there a big price difference on pasta? What are the differences? Well, of course, pasta can be organic and cost more because of the organic ingredients. But we're going to talk about the way that pasta. I'm going to talk about the way that pasta is actually cut today, how it's extruded through the dye. There's two different ways that the pasta is extruded. So pasta is made in a machine, the dough's made in a machine, and then it gets pushed through what would look like a meat grinder, right? We all know meat grinders have holes at the end, and the chopped meat comes out, chopped up, and it's pushed out comes out the size based upon the openings of the holes in the dye. It's cut by the blades inside. So pasta, the same sort of thing. It's pushed out through a die. Now, there's two different types of dies. This creates the shape of the pasta, and then it's cut as it comes out typically. So the two different shapes, or the two different dies, are going to be the traditional bronze, and then the newer one that they're using. I don't know the last. It's happened in maybe it's 100 years old. It's not. It's much newer. It's Teflon. Um, it's Teflon dye. So you have a bronze dye and a Teflon dye. I'm not sure when exactly the Teflon dye was invented, but the bronze dye is the classic dye that was the original. Now, of course, bronze does cost more, of course, but that's not the reason that pasta costs more at all. So when you extrude through these two different plates of pasta, the bronze ones are always going to be the higher priced pasta cuts. When you push through bronze, you're going at a much slower rate than Teflon. Teflon, your production can be higher because it just slips right through the pasta and extrudes and goes, cuts and goes, and your production is significantly improved. The bronze is a much slower extrusion. It's getting extruded much slower, which is part of the reason why the pasta costs more, because the company is producing less. They're producing less in the same amount of time. But let's talk about the real deal on what the differences are in these pastas. So if you were to take a pound of each pasta and let's say a gallon of water, boil a gallon of water, throw a pound of each pasta in, one from Teflon, one from bronze, and if you were to strain the water after they're cooked and have the pasta there, you would strain out two different amounts of water. The Teflon one would strain out more water than the bronze one. See, when you extrude through bronze, it creates these ridges on the pasta. You can actually look at pastas and say, oh, this is Teflon cut and this is bronze cut, because you can actually see the dullness and how rigid it is. The bronze makes the pasta rigid. So the bronze cut pasta is going to absorb more water, thus have more yield. So if something starts out as 1 pound and goes to 2 pounds, and the other 1 pound goes to 1.5 pounds, actually the price is not the same anymore. And this is what a lot of chefs don't understand about all ingredients. If you get better yield out of a better, more expensive ingredient, no longer is it really the most expensive ingredient. But a lot of chefs look at just the price, or consumers just look at the price on the box, the price on the pound, and say, well, this is cheaper because it's cheaper up front. Doesn't mean it's cheaper at the end. If you throw away half of the cheapest product, no longer is the cheapest product. So here in the case of pasta, you're actually getting more yield because the pasta is going to absorb more. Now the texture on the other pasta, see the Teflon dye, because it goes through quicker, it's more compact, so to speak, doesn't absorb as much. It might be a little more al dente. It might be a little more firmer in the middle, and some people like that. So I'm not saying one way is right or wrong. I'm just explaining the difference of what there is. So now, there's certain types of pasta dishes that actually call to use the pasta water. So if you were to strain both those pastas, Teflon dye and bronze cut dye, you'll see the bronze cut has a much starchier water drain off, because more starches got into the water, more water got into the pasta and made it bigger. So two different yields. So you can actually now take this pasta water. When they say use the pasta water for the sauce you're making, certain pasta dishes require that. This is the water you want. This is the water where the starch is that's actually going to help you bind your sauce and make it a higher quality, more consistent, more velvety sauce is from this pasta water. Now, of course, you only want to be using pasta that comes from durum, durum wheat flour, durum semolina, durum wheat flour. That's the good one to use. And most pastas in Italy, by the way, the bigger companies, like you look at them and they're such massive companies, who knows what kind of flour they're using, where the flour is coming from. Like the Cecco is one of the largest producers of pasta and Barilla. And Barilla has an American line where they use wheat from America, and then they have this collection line, which is the higher end pasta, which is die cut pastas instead of their Teflon cut pastas. The Cecco claims that the majority of their pasta is bronze die cut, except for like their spinach and a couple of their other ones. I think they claim like up to 75% of theirs are. We use a great brand locally here, Spoffolini from Kosaki, that is made from New York organic grains, slow bronze extruded, slow dried. We also have a couple really awesome ones from Italy. We're now bringing a brand in from Guiliano, which is the birthplace, the very birthplace of the bronze cut pastas. If you go to Guiliano, they are known for that. There's several pasta makers there. Just like all these little spots in Italy are known for certain things, like prosciutto di Parma. So Guiliano is very, very well known for their traditional bronze pastas. We're bringing one of those pastas in. So back to the water drain offs and the water for the pasta making the sauce. So that's what you want to use. You want to use that water to make your sauces. Now, if you were to take the same pound of each pasta, Teflon pasta and Teflon extruded pasta and bronze cut pasta, mix it with the same amount of sauce after it's cooked, and put them on screens, on a screen that has holes in it, right? A sieve, some type of sieve, you will see that the pasta that is bronze die cut will hold the sauce better, typically hold it better. Not always the case, but typically hold it better. That's the idea of it. But you will see that typically the Teflon cut pasta in the with the sauce will start dripping through the sieve. Start dripping through the sieve, and you can see on the plate the sauce you're actually losing that's left behind. The other pasta that's bronze cut, the more expensive pasta, will actually grip the sauce better, hold the sauce. So, but of course you have to have a good sauce to begin with to do that. So that's important as well. Don't think you can just do that with any sauce. So those are the real benefits of, or the real deal, or the rundown of the different types of pasta, why pasta is more expensive than other pastas. And again, do never get caught by the actual price. It's like the same thing on a car, right? You buy a car that's $30,000 compared to a car that's $35,000, but the car that's $35,000 gets a much better gas mileage. So the end of the year, you've spent less money, or insurance is less on the car that's $35,000 compared to the car that's $30,000, or the interest rate is different on the car that's $35,000. It's a lower interest rate on $35,000 versus the car that's $30,000. So never judge a food product by what the price says on the box, or per pound, or per unit. Judge it by its yield, judge it by its nutrition, judge it by several other things, just like the car scenario. There's a lot of other factors that go actually into it. And chefs are terrible at this, and so are consumers, because we just look at a price and we're like, okay, I don't mind if I pay $4.15 a pound for this, and instead of $5.15, even though I know I have to throw away 10% or 20% of it. If I'm throwing away 20% of this pork or this beef because it's all fat compared to the other one, it's no longer the cheapest product. So keep that in mind. Enjoy good pasta. Folks, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your support at the restaurant, at Aroma Time. Jamie and I could not be doing this without you. If you like this video, just drop a comment, hit the like button. Let us know if you're watching live or on the replay. #live, #replay. And everybody have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you later.